Go live here in just a minute. Any questions before we get kicked off? All right, so now we are not being recorded. Nope. No, not yet. We're very good. And so we're going to go live here in just a second. We'll wait for them to get back from the bathroom. Any questions? Hey everybody, my name is Elijah Desmond. I'm the CEO and founder of the Dental Festival. You've probably been seeing this all over the internet, and I'm here to tell you exactly what Dental Festival is. So, Dental Festival is a collaboration of many Hey everybody, conferences. This is Elijah Desmond, the founder of Dental Tank and the Dental Festival. I'm super excited to have everyone here today. For the people that are viewing live with us, go ahead and share this to a couple of the Facebook groups. Share it with your people who are on YouTube, and tag your friends on LinkedIn. We are going live from 3 different social media platforms. Here at Dental Tank, we have amazing tanks. What are tanks? The tanks are investors and strategic investors, and they also are brought here and picked handpicked to show up. I'm going to go ahead quickly and go through the different types of tanks that we have. First off, we have a practice management tank. That practice management tank that we have here is representing Team Training Institute. Dr. John Mice, thank you so much for coming. We're super excited to have you. The intention with having you here is all right, you can potentially invest in some of these things, but if somebody gets in with you and you love their product or service, you are heavy in the DSO consulting space, so you'll be able to help them more ways than just financially, so thank you for that. Then we have Dr. Ed Zuckerberg. Dr. Ed Zuckerberg is also one of the investors that is up here. He has also a social media type of business, and he is with an advisor with Revere Partners as well. So we're super excited to have Dr. Ed Zuckerberg here. Same thing, he has the ability to invest, also has the ability as a strategic partner to grow the businesses. Then we have Dr. Lou Graham here at the front. Hey, Dr. Lou, how are you? Dr. Lou actually has given me so much feedback on Dental Tank and continuing to improve it along the time that it's been here since we started back in December talking about it. So thank you for all your input. Dr. Lou Graham is with Catapult Education. He has many dentists that are essentially in the field, hands-on, and they're testing out products. They're testing out products, and if they're Catapult approved, these dentists that are testing out the product actually speak throughout the entire country and help to share the message with these approved products and help to grow them. Catapult is a very prestigious company that anybody who is in the product space or service space, anything new, you want to get it Catapult approved, and that's going to be like a stamp of approval that's going to be good for your business. Next we have Dan. Dan is here specifically as a manufacturer, our only manufacturer with Kittenbach. And I actually got to know Dan over the phone from meeting Lou. I didn't even have to talk him into coming. He was kind of like already in. So you are a forward thinker and innovative in your products, and we really appreciate you as being the manufacturer here with Kittenbach today. And Howie, we have Howie here. Howie is with Crazy Dental, DC Dental, and they have an online distributor group, and that you are the distributor of choice here at the Dental Tank. We're super happy to have you. Heard nothing but great things about you as well. We're super happy for you to be here, and you're able to help get a lot of these products and services to the masses. So not only are you able to invest along with everybody else, but if somebody earns your blessings, you're going to be able to get them out to a massive amount of people. So thank you so much for that. Dr. Jeremy Krell, we're super excited to have you up here as well. Dr. Jeremy Krell is with Revere. He created Revere Partners, and we're super excited to have him. They are the largest VC firm in the entire country that's dental specific. So I couldn't be more happier to sit on their advisory board as well and to help them with what they're doing. They're really coming into the industry and telling people, if you have a product, service, innovation, come to us. We'll look at investing in you. So there you have your 6 tanks that are here. We're super excited to have all of you. We have many companies that will be presenting on Dental Tank. Today, we are specifically going to be going live stream with 3 of those companies. One of those companies that we have, the one we're going to kick off with, that is FTG, Freedom Technologies Group. Super excited to have them here. And before I bring them to the stage, I want to ask the viewers that are watching online if you could share this channel with all of your friends in the Facebook groups, with your friends on YouTube and on LinkedIn. That'll help all of these people to gain exposure for their products. Also, we will be going live once every 4 weeks and bringing a new product or service or innovation to the stage on these channels as well. So make sure you tune back in. So David Hanning, we're super excited to have you. About the business of FTG, I was very excited about this because it's next level. We're dealing with Bluetooth technologies. They have the world's first wireless direct conversion intraoral X-ray sensor. DC Air combines the latest in Bluetooth technology, direct conversion X-ray, both patent and provider. DC Air is more comfortable, more durable, more convenient, and provides a better diagnostic quality than any other intraoral sensor in the market. Without further ado, welcome to the stage, David Hanning.
Hello, my name is David Hanning with FTG Imaging. I'm the CEO and one of the original founders. And before we get started, I'd like Luke Scott, who is the Director of Marketing for FTG, to pass our product down so you guys can all hold it, check it out. You'll see that it's very different than any of the intraoral sensors that you've ever had in your hands. So that product represents 5 years of development, over 40 engineers, and millions of dollars of investment. We feel that it's a game changer, and we hope that after you see this presentation today, you'll feel the same way. So here it is. Here's the complete suite, if you will. Here is the sensor. Right there you can see it's one sensor out of the docking station and one in the docking station. The holder set is proprietary. We'll go through that as well. It's all designed to be very comfortable. Eliminating the wire, as you know, makes a huge difference for not only patient comfort but also durability. The DC stands for direct conversion. It's a different type of technology that we're using than traditional sensors. Traditional sensors use what's called FOP, or fiber optic plate imaging, and that means you've got a sandwich of what's called a scintillator, a fiber optic plate, and a CMOS sensor. The scintillator converts the X-ray photons to visible light, the fiber optic plate filters it, and the CMOS sensor picks up that light and does an analog to digital conversion, and that's where you get the grayscale. That type of technology produces inherently fuzzy images because of the light conversion. So you may have noticed if you don't sharpen your digital X-rays, natively they're fuzzy. Direct conversion grabs the X-ray photons directly, and because of that, there's no light conversion. It's much sharper natively than traditional FOP sensors. So the harsh reality about sensors with wires, and another company that I own, Dental TI, we've sold thousands of wired sensors throughout the years, and our tech support, we're always troubleshooting the wires. And that may be the USB connector at the computer. The sad thing is that most sensors today use a USB connector that the industry certifies for 1,500 connects and disconnects, and that's the USB industry, the creator of that technology. And yet sensors are being sold that are anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 that have this connection point that is prone to failure. And then the fragile sandwich that I talked about of the internal components. If you've ever seen an artifact on the edge of your sensor that looks like a watermark, it's typically delamination, which happens when the sensor is bitten or dropped. And also, because of the light conversion, the images are noisier and lower resolution than film. In fact, Gordon Christensen still says that film is the gold standard for the detection of incipient caries because of that. And obviously with the wire, they're bulky and less comfortable in the mouth than film or phosphor plate, and oftentimes you have issues with coverage. For example, capturing the distal canine contact in a premolar bite wing. So the DC Air has been designed to really solve all of those problems or address those pain points of intraoral sensors. It's wireless, as you can see, very light. It's got rounded corners, so it's very comfortable. But direct conversion supplies superior MTF, which is the true measure of resolution, for noticeably better image quality. And the other thing is it's homogenized, siliconized in construction. So there's nothing to delaminate, nothing to break if you drop it, so far more durability. And then you'll also see our zero profile holder system, which is designed to fit on the back of the sensor where the battery is, so there's no holder around the perimeter of the sensor, which makes it much easier to place. Here you can see the sensor in the docking station. The docking station plugs into your USB port, and it pairs the sensor. So when you put it in that docking station, it's uniquely paired to that computer, and it also charges the battery. If you take the sensor out of the docking station and you have a full charge, you can take 150 plus images in a row without having to put it back. and it can be out of the docking station for about 3.5 hours without having to be put back. Now, that's not how we encourage the use of it. We always say after you're done using it, put it back in the docking station so you know where it's at and it's charging. So that's sort of its home. So wireless. The DC Air utilizes the latest in Bluetooth low energy technology to transmit images to the docking station. Now, this is the first wireless direct conversion sensor, but it's not the first wireless sensor. Dr. Graham shaking his head. He remembers the Schick CDR sensor from 2006, right? And that sensor, everyone thought that would be a game changer. The problem with that sensor is the technology really was not there in terms of transmission and battery. And so effectively the transmission, if you guys remember the little receivers that had 4 channels, that's how that operated. Schick had a lot of issues because that's a noisy bandwidth of black lines going through their images, so they had issues with the diagnostic capability. The sensor was very bulky, it was thick, and it had a battery that cost $300 and you got about 300 exposures. So it was something that after doctors started using it, they saw the noise issues, they saw the cost of the battery, et cetera, that it just didn't make it. Fast forward 15 years later, and you would expect that technology has improved, which it has, and this has allowed us obviously to create something that the market has been looking for a long time, and this wireless technology. So direct conversion, real quickly, this is traditional on the right side, the scintillator, the glass fiber optic plate, the CMOS sensor. You look on the left, we basically have one ASIC chip. And so effectively there's no glass, there's no scintillator, it's all homogenized, siliconized construction, so there's nothing to delaminate or break when you drop it. This is not so this image here is a traditional sensor. You'll see sometimes they can be very grainy, and we took this from one of our beta sites. I'm sure it could have been better, but this was a comparative we had. That's traditional, and that's direct conversion on the left. And much less noisy, much higher detail, and just much greater sharpness to the image. MTF, the true measure of resolution. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I like to think of MTF as, okay, you've got reality, so this is reality. If I take a picture of that, the difference between my picture and reality, think of that as MTF. The higher the MTF, the less difference between those two. When it comes to MTF, the DC Air offers the highest MTF on the market by far. You can see this comparison of different sensors. We're at the top on all categories. Zero profile holder system. So the sensor, you can see here, and this is unique and innovative, our endo holder there in the upper right. The sensor has 360-degree flexibility. That means that you can actually, for a bite wing, put the rounded corner, which has the most active area of any sensor on that end, towards the premolar, towards the mesial, for a premolar bite wing, which you see down there, and you can get the canine to premolar contact every time, and you can turn it towards the distal if you're wanting to see a third molar. So that is something that no other sensor can do, that 360-degree rotational flexibility. But the zero profile has proven to be much more comfortable for patients because you don't have the added bulk of the holder around the perimeter of the holder. Here you can see what I was talking about there. That's the bite wing holder with the rounded corners going towards the canine and the rounded corners distal, and you can see the result up there, okay? More comparative. So this is sort of interesting. The top, by the way, this is an office, one of our early beta sites. The top is a competitive sensor. I won't say what it is, but it's considered now the sort of gold standard. On these images, what we did is that's unsharpened, but our image is unsharpened as well. So they're both native images. The DC Air just comes back with the sharpness naturally. When you sharpen conventional sensor images, you lose their information. because the sharpening algorithms are basically creating nice sharp lines by averaging pixels, but it's not giving you more information, it's actually giving you less information. Same, you can see the top and the bottom between just with the implant, top and the bottom here. I thought this was pretty interesting. We actually took a image of a crab claw, and the top was conventional, the bottom is the DC air. There's a little crab up there. So anyway, that's sort of the gist of it. I want to go ahead and leave the rest of the time for questions.
David, great idea. Great concept. The time has come for this.
Oh, thank you.
Is the sensor compatible with all software systems, or is it your proprietary software that works with it?
So great question. It is compatible with all sensor or all software that uses a Twain driver. Our Twain is very sophisticated. It works well with all of them. So in DEXIS, for example, the images will actually be rotated properly. And Apterex or EagleSoft, these are all some of our early offices that we have. They're all using those software packages. It works perfectly with those. Dentrex Ascend Imaging, if you guys are familiar with that software, that will have direct integration soon, as well as SOTA Cloud Imaging. So we are working to get some direct integration, but the Twain works very well with any software that supports a Twain, which is just about all of them on the market currently. Great question.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to come at it.
Yep.
Dave, two key questions.
Sure.
One is, I'm a guy who loses his keys pretty much 4 times a day.
Yep.
Thievery in a dental office is not uncommon.
Right.
I know firsthand. So, tracking device. Is there a tracking device in this?
Yes. So great question. And so, yes, actually, your phone can track this sensor. An app with your phone, on your phone can track the sensor. The other thing is we teach that, hey, it goes in the docking station when it's not being used. And we really recommend one sensor for 2 operatories. We don't think it's feasible to have 1 for 4 operatories where you're running around looking for it. So that's one. In terms of theft, if it gets stolen, we can disable the sensor remotely. So, and we do have during the warranty period, and after the warranty there will be different packages that you can purchase. But during the warranty period, for example, if you do lose it, if it gets stolen, we disable it and you get a replacement for basically like an insurance deductible amount. So we have addressed that, but great question, because I know everyone's always concerned about losing it. What we have found is all of our offices that are employing it now had that concern, but because the docking station is just so perfect for the sensor, once they understand the workflow, it has not been the issue that the doctors thought it would be.
Okay, so dentists, you mentioned the word that dentists hate, warranty. We love complimentary warranty.
Sure.
Of course, we're dentists.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to know cost of this, of the sensor, because you know how expensive sensors are, not putting you on the spot.
Right.
And warranties. I mean,
Sure.
talk to me.
Absolutely. So cost, so I look at cost over a period of time. Because real quickly, when you think about sensors, sensors are designed, if you were to put them on a table, to take 50 to 100,000 exposures. Okay. I don't know of any sensor that's ever lasted for 50 to 100,000 exposures. And think about that, 50 to 100,000 exposures, but my connection is good for 1,500 plugs and unplugs. Okay. So ultimately, I feel that sensors that are less expensive with the cable, they're not going to last as long. And this sensor without a cable, without the glass sandwich that you have inside of it, should last much longer. Okay, you should be able to get life out of it that is close to the number of exposures on the chip, because it just will not have the wear, okay, and the damage possibilities that a traditional sensor gets. So your question though about cost, price, and warranties. The price of this sensor will be the most expensive, as you can imagine, because it's brand new technology. We have to overcome the years of development, the $1 million of development. But it's not going to be that much more expensive. We plan on retailing this sensor at $12,999 for a sensor, a docking station, a holder set, and a Twain driver and a 2-year warranty. When you look at what's considered the gold standard now in dental imaging, it would probably still be the DEXIS Platinum or the Schick 33, depending upon what group you're in. So the DEXIS Platinum is, I want to say 12, 13 years old now, okay? The Schick 33, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. So they're all technologies that have been out for a while. Those sensors, depending upon how many you buy, can range from $9,000 to $12,000, okay, for a single sensor, software, etc. DEXIS, for example, comes with a 1-year warranty, and then after that, DEXIS has $16.95, I believe, for a basic warranty and $24.95 for a more upgraded warranty. So you've got to pay that if you want any kind of coverage after the first year. I'm only using these guys as an example because they're sort of considered the cream of the crop right now. There are a lot of other sensors that are down in the $5,000 range, but DEXIS and Schick are really considered the top sensors. So I believe even though our sensor, the price will be more expensive to begin with, I think it's going to last longer. You're going to see more because remember, you have your price, but you also have your return on your investment. And if you're seeing more, it's easier for your staff, and I know someone had mentioned that earlier, easier, more comfortable for the patients. And what our early offices are saying, patients love it. They have gaggers that they couldn't get x-rays on before they're getting x-rays on. Staff loves it. One quick story, I have in one of the offices, very small operatory, Trish, the hygienist, had told me that at one point she had to walk over her sensor. It's just the way it was set up, terrible setup, but every time she had to walk over the sensor. And she said one time she actually tripped, ripped it out of the patient's mouth, and it was awful. So we employed this sensor. First x-rays, she's walking over this invisible cord. And I was like, Trish, you don't have to do that anymore. But I thought it was funny. Like it's just habit. She was walking. So that's something obviously that's not good. When someone trips over a sensor, and it may have happened to anyone here before, right? That's not good. A lot of complaints. It's difficult to position sensors oftentimes because of the torque from the cable. Patients bite on cables. So really, I think over a period of time, this sensor should be less costly than traditional sensors, and it should give you a greater return on investment. Will it be more expensive to begin with? Yes, the price will be more, but I think over a period of time, it will actually be less costly.
Real quickly,
Yeah.
Since we're running out of time, two quick questions.
Sure.
And you already kind of addressed one of them, and that is where will your competitors come at you, and obviously price. So anything beyond that. And secondly, what's the next advancement and how are you addressing it?
Good question. So a couple things about this technology. Direct conversion. The person considered the founder of direct conversion in dentistry. Athlos is the joint venture with FTG in Finland. They're the producer of this sensor, and Konstantinos Spartiotis is the CEO of Athlos, and he has more knowledge of direct conversion than anyone in the dental industry. The chip it took 5 years of development. The fob, which there are only 3 in the world that make these things, messed up twice. So we were on a 3-year development schedule, it took 5. So and the thing that allows us to be wireless is that direct conversion, because direct conversion is very, very low power consumption relative to traditional FOPs. It's a fraction of the power consumption. So that's what allows us to get the long life from the battery, and that's what makes this practical, is that technology. We feel that we have a head start on everyone. One, if you were to go and try to have a chip manufactured now, it would take you forever. I mean, we're lucky that, because of the chip shortage, we're lucky that we got in the front of that line 5 years ago, okay? And we're already in the queue for manufacturing. But just the design process took a year on the chip. And the chip, the ASIC, application specific integrated circuit is what that stands for. That's patented, as well as the way the holders attach to the sensor. That's patented as well. So we have those two things patented. So we feel that it's going to be some time before a viable competitor comes for us just based on that. And then, I'm sorry, what was the second question there? What we're going to be doing. And that's really what it is just the knowledge that we have of direct conversion, the amount of time that it took to do that as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Give it up for David
Thanks,
with
guys.
FTG. Thank you.
Sure.
And we're going to go ahead and cut to a commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes.
It's true, dental CE has grown stale, but it doesn't have to be. Hi, I'm Dr. Miles Cohn. Let me introduce you to Catapult.
We've got some fresh new talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
All this and more can be found at catapulteducation.com, where you can learn to thrive in a dynamic and evolving dental market.
You have to keep it clean. Well, there's a brush that has like two sides of the brush that goes right around my Invisalign, and then there's a water that goes through the tooth shower in like 5 or 6 different sprays and shoots between all of my interproximals. As a hygienist, I absolutely love this product, and I was super excited to share it with you today. So the tooth shower is a water flosser toothbrush for use in the shower. It is shower powered and makes water flossing easy and enjoyable. There is no batteries or electricity needed, and best of all, no mess to clean up in the bathroom sink. Without further ado, I want to introduce Lisa and Gary Ginst to the stage.
So I am a dental hygienist. I have been one for over 20 years. And just go to the next slide. And I invented the tooth shower. The reason I did this is so many of our patients have gum disease. And I'll get them to floss sometimes and most time not. But I can get them to water floss because they like it. But they come back healthier, but 6 months later, it's under their sink. So now I feel like as a hygienist, I have nothing to help them. And gum disease is mainly between their teeth. We're always measuring their pockets. They get worse. We say your pockets are worse. I mean, I don't feel like there's any more we do after they leave. So they have to do something at home. So this is the problems that we're trying to solve. 60% of consumers do not floss, but 60% of consumers shower once a day. The reasons they don't floss are they don't like string floss, it hurts. It's also in the news lately, is it even proven to be effective when our patients don't use it effectively? So they're not cleaning between their teeth. They've got gum disease now between the teeth. Over half of adult Americans have some form of gum disease. And the water flossers are too messy at the sink. They're too noisy. They need refilling. The batteries die. You need countertop space. These are all the things my patients tell me. So I decided, what if we could do it in the shower? So when my son was a senior in engineering school, about 5-6 years ago, we had him make our first prototype. I wasn't sure if the shower was going to be strong enough to power it, and it was. So now we have a working prototype. I take it to an engineering firm. We make it consumer friendly. You want to just hold it? And you know, just that their hand will fit where it needs to fit. We got every detail that they need. It's magnetically held. They control the water pressure here. They don't have to control it up at the shower. They have a mirror. They have storage. And we have 7 different accessories for all their needs. So we have the standard water flossing tip, which everybody's familiar with. But if they have sensitive gums, we have one with a soft tip on the end. If they have gum disease, we have a perio pocket. But I wanted to solve another problem. So many of my patients miss the tongue side of their teeth when they're brushing. So I created a dual-headed toothbrush, but it irrigates. So it's amazing how clean your teeth feel afterwards because you're not just moving the plaque around, you're flushing it off. For those who don't like a dual head, we have an irrigating single head. And our most novel accessory that's not on the market anywhere is a 7-stream gum massager. The reason we invented this is we're not sure that after a while a consumer will just keep getting each embrasure space and staying on top of it. Will it be like a piece of exercise equipment where they just stop using it? So we invented a 7-stream gum massager. And what's great about this is we designed it to fit between the bands and the braces. It goes right on the gums. And the reason we did that is when I see ortho patients, they brush from the bands to the incisal, totally missing their gums. Their gums are always inflamed. This fits right in there. They take it along. So that can go with braces, and we've really hit it all. You can do implants. Let me go to the next slide. I've learned recently that implants are finding microscopic pieces of string floss fiber on there that's causing inflammation. Water flossing needs to grow. So these are all our solutions in that you can brush, flush, massage. It's powered by your shower, no countertop space, no water reservoir to refill. You can use the water at your own choice of temperature. There's no mess on your mirror, but it has 7 patents right now too, so it's protected. We have really protected this. We also protected that initially we had a mouthwash pump built into it, and that's patented. That needs a little more research and development, so we're going to bring that back. These are the kind of people that we're not going to say it's just for everybody with teeth, but we're aware that our most alert customer is someone who knows they have gum disease. They know what a perio pocket is for. That's why we sell a lot more of that accessory tip. We know most people all hate string floss, so we've already needing to give them a solution. But when I ask people, have you ever used a water flosser? A lot of people say no. And if they did, they say, it makes a mess, it's under my sink. So I don't feel like we've really pushed the water flossing market enough. It needs to grow more There's a lot of reasons now to grow it: systemic health, implants, braces, more braces all the time. It cleans, this cleans, like Elijah was saying, the retainer. And a lot of people want a social media smile. These are my competitors: Countertop Water Flosser. Oh, I'm going too long. Cordless Water Flosser. And there are one or two other shower water flossers on the market. They're very rudimentary. But the cordless water flossers have a very small water reservoir, so they have to constantly be refilled. Even if you were to take it into the shower, you have to keep refilling it.
So this is a brief overview of 3 of the standard
Let's take a
accessories.
closer look at how the tooth shower works to keep your mouth healthy. There are 3 attachments. The dual-headed toothbrush can brush the front and back of your teeth at the same time, so you don't miss the tongue side of the teeth when brushing. And the top of each brush has shorter bristles that clean the chewing surfaces of the teeth. Like all of the attachments, the brush also irrigates. Next is the irrigating tip. It directs water between the teeth to flush food and bacteria out from between your teeth. This works especially well for braces and other hard-to-reach spots that your toothbrush can't reach. And lastly, introducing the tooth shower's personal touch, the innovative gum massager. Just hold the massager up to your gum tissue and with a circular motion moving from side to side. The massager's 7 streams of water massage and irrigate at the same time. There you have it, a 3-in-1 solution to a healthy mouth. Brought to you by Tooth Shower.
So that summarized, Lisa did a great job summarizing the accessories in the console. And our ask today is a $250,000 investment for a 10% equity stake in Tooth Shower. And those monies would be spent in these areas, the following areas of inventory, marketing and advertising, and engineering a pipeline of ideas we have, and also to re-engineer our mouthwash feature and bring that back into the market in the very near future. These are our current sales channels, predominantly Amazon US, Amazon Canada, and Shopify. We go on and off campaigns with some mail e-commerce sites like Touch of Modern, you may or may not be familiar with. We're in a Sharper Image catalog, and we've been highlighted twice on QVC, which taught us a lot and kept improving our quality assessment. If you're not familiar, QVC has very, very rigid quality controls and standards, and we surpassed all of them with excellent ratings in our quality control for Tooth Shower. Our current and future marketing initiatives are to stay on Amazon and grow that, and continue to leverage our Shopify site for a lot of education, awareness, and leveraging our hygienists, which are our #1 influencers. So we do a lot to reach out to hygienists from local shows to national shows with our attendance and social media, targeting them, and then those people diagnosed with gingivitis and those that just have an interest in systemic care. Financials here, what we don't display that I want to put across, in 2017, 2018, we closed 2 crowdfunding campaigns where we raised just over $370,000, and we sold Tooth Shower in over 40 countries. Predominant sales were in the US, of course, but we felt we really validated the product and the need. 2019 was our first year on e-commerce, but that wasn't a complete year. We went on Shopify in April, and we went on Amazon in October of that year, where we closed 128,000. Our first full year on e-commerce, Shopify, Amazon, was a 303,000, with some e-commerce sites outside of those 2, but also including QVC. 2021 was a challenge for us. Some of our Amazon expertise we had some questions with, so we had changed Amazon companies, which we're now scaling back up really nicely. But we also noticed a big change in buying habits into 2021 in January, where our Shopify site had a lot of challenges. Maybe that's pandemic related, Amazon related, but we're scaling back now. We're very happy with our new Amazon managers, and are continuing touching our influencers, where we get a lot more interest from hygienists. So projecting from the past into the future of 350 to doubling our revenue by 2023. For timeliness, I need to move ahead. Some future milestones: we added a sonic toothbrush to increase our footprint in e-commerce and on Amazon. We want to bring back previous features that we're very interested in crowdfunding. add new color schemes, and add a mini tooth shower to our pipeline. You'll see we're a family-run, family-started business, but we have access to a large advisory panel that we put together quickly after inception with several experts and professionals. We also have contracted many resources because from day one, we didn't want to act like a product, we wanted to act like a company. So we, of course, contracted resources like this to help support Tooth Shower. Like Lisa mentioned, we have multiple patents, US and international, trademarks, US and international. Apologize for the speed. And then this is our current product portfolio in your handouts you have, and then our current sales prices that you would find on e-commerce. So thank you very much, Dental Tank, and we'd love to see someone invest in the power of the shower.
Lisa, Gary, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming here and for presenting what you've built.
I can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little hard. Go ahead.
Let's try without the mask here. Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you.
Okay. So as a general dentist and the former dentist behind Quip, I know this space pretty well. First, to validate, we actually did quite a bit of studies on how many people brush their teeth in the shower. It's an alarming percentage. It's typically over 25% on the average, sometimes as high as 40%. So I think there's a real trend there. A few questions. Can you talk to me about your unit cost and the margins on your product?
Sure. Right now, we purchase it for $25, and that is everything. Gary, can I have the metal diverter? One of our largest costs is the diverter valve is brass metal, and it's custom made because a competitor called Oral Breeze, who just has a diverter and a tube hanging with a pick at the end, something you can make like yourself at a hardware store. His #1 complaint is it restricts people's shower flow. So I had to open this up and have no restrictions to their shower. So this is $6 of the $25. And then the rest is the cost of the console itself. The accessories are like 30 cents each to make. So we only include 3 of those accessories in the unit, and then people come back to the website and buy the others.
And how much do you sell it for?
The 2 showers sold for $99 with 3 accessories in it, $119 with another set of accessories in another color. We sell all the accessories in 4 colors. There's 2 storage areas for 2 users.
Got it. In terms of clinical studies on the efficacy of this compared to other alternatives that you mentioned as your competitors, is that something you're working on, or are there early signs of efficacy?
It's definitely in a pipeline of need, clinical studies.
So we've been talking to the ADA, and we'll have to go through clinical studies. But again, we would need the investment for that. I had one initial investor and then our own money, but it's time to get a second round of investment.
What about compatibility and the ease of installation? Is this compatible with every shower? How easy is it for the average person to install that?
So one of the first things that came up with the diverter valve was we put a rotating nut on the end. Because a lot of the European showers, they come just straight out of the wall, the plumbing, and they needed to be able to take a wrench and rotate it. But we found the rotating nut was confusing when I was on QVC for the women. So we got rid of the rotating nut. Now you just take your shower head. It's easy as taking a shower head off. Gary says it's as easy as putting a garden hose on take your shower head off, you just screw this on with your hand now. No wrench, anything, no washers.
Then there's a mounting plate that's affixed with 3M command strips, moisture bathroom strips. And that holds it fast to most every surface. So the user can remove this easily for cleaning behind it or cleaning and sanitizing the unit itself.
So to answer your question, we've had no showers have a problem with it.
But do you have to can you use only the shower or this? Do you have to take the head off to use this?
You take your shower head off, put this on, put your shower head back.
And put the shower head back.
Yep.
So then you can switch between which one.
Yeah, you got your diverter here to divert. Okay. Now what you can do is what most people are doing, the pressure is so great that they're just controlling their water pressure here. You can turn the 2 shower on and off here. I didn't want people to have to reach up and do that every time, especially kids. So they put it on, now they control it on here.
And last question, all the therapeutics that come along with it, the toothpaste, the mouthwash, that's all separate, right? So they would have to bring, sort of a separate tube of toothpaste in or a separate mouthwash into the shower.
Right, so we have a place up here for fits travel size toothpaste. And mouthwash, I mean, we'd love to bring it back. We had it working, we had it patented. It was a pump right on the front there, and they pump it in while they're, but we need a little more research and development to fine tune that.
I'll add just one more question. Is there, the water that's coming out of a shower is not filtered in the same way as other, locations in the home. You have hardness issues, you have, depending on what parts of the country or world, you have, various different
As long as the water's
bacteria.
potable.
It just has to be potable, that's it.
Right, right.
But it's filtered like the rest of the house.
Yes, it's the same water that's gone to your kitchen
Same
sink
thing that's going to your sink or anywhere. There's a filter in here.
for sediment.
You have an extra.
I do, for mineral deposits.
Okay,
I've had no problems with it clogging up. We've really had no problems. People love it.
As far as sales channels go, have you looked into the possibility of selling it through dental offices and orthodontic offices?
Yeah, I did. I went.
A product like this does require education a little bit, a little
It does.
hand-holding. People are a little nervous to just go on Amazon and buy something that you need to maybe install. How does it work? All that teaching that you did might be better done through dentists and orthodontists.
We went that avenue, and I even had an ortho distributor, and we're finding consumers don't want to buy it that way. They want to buy it on Amazon. I even have dental offices selling them in the office, and the consumer's like, yeah, and then they buy it on Amazon.
So you'll see on those bracelets we handed out, that's an educational aid for chairside for the hygienists. And with one-click shopping with Amazon, you really can't, it's very hard to compete with.
Since COVID, we have really struggled with that. It used to sell different ways, but now it's all Amazon.
So they can go to our website or Amazon through that QR code on the bracelet there. Other questions?
So do you give offices, like I see the QR code, do you give them educational material so they can actually educate would be my first question. And is there any reward back to the hygienist or the office for a referral system? Since he's already smiling, I already know the answer is coming. So let's hear what you got.
Mm-hmm. Did you hand them the brochure?
They should have gotten a brochure. There's a patient brochure?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
so all the hygienists I contact constantly, seminars, give out hundreds of these. We give out free 2 showers to hygienists often, or we give them a discounted price, but they can join an affiliate program and they can earn $10 for selling one and give 10% off to the patient. But again, we are struggling with that now because the patient wants to buy on Amazon. It's a changing world in the last year. That was all functioning very normal until 2021. And you'll see our numbers went down because we had to quick learn to now be an Amazon company. We have a third-party consultant company, and they just tell us how to run Amazon, run ads. You know, even Google, they say they're not even like Googling my product, they're putting it in Amazon as a Google search.
Okay.
And obviously I'm running a lot of Facebook ads. I can't give up on Facebook because that is an awareness. And then we would direct them to our website, but then they buy on Amazon.
So we have about 1 minute left. Okay, great.
Okay, so I have more questions than if you have 1 minute left, I don't want to hog. Okay, so one of the huge advantages is the reservoir, because we do sell water flossers that people will use in the shower, and they have to fill up that reservoir repeatedly per arch, at least twice.
Right.
At least twice. So I guess I'm going to go back to the office. Would you think about providing offices demos and materials and more things so that, the will they buy? I just find that they buy in the office when they're introduced to it. So I just want to understand how we can refer clients to you.
I agree with you, and when I was working clinically, I felt it was that way, but I still feel like they leave them buy on Amazon, but it's a great idea. What we can do is this wall plate, if we got a unit, we'd be willing to do that, get a unit in each dental office in the waiting room, you just stick this on the drywall with the 3M strips and it hangs there. So it'd be very easy to have a demo in the office. I think orthodontic offices should just include this in the $5,500 for the braces. And that is a really needed situation that they have so many bleeding gums all the time. I think
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You want to grab that?
Thank you.
All right, how about the tooth shower? So before we get to our next contestant, which is IoTech International, we're going to take just a few minutes for a quick commercial break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeremy Krell, Managing Partner of Revere Partners and a General Dentist. Our world-class team allows us to source deal flow from every corner of the industry and diligence it at the highest level, by doctors, for doctors. So what's the benefit to investors? Investors also look to Revere for good reason. We work with accredited angel investors, including dentists, high net worth individuals, family offices, and corporations. Taking this approach gives us the unique ability to market the fund, generating awareness among the entire industry. So what's the benefit to startups? Startups find us especially attractive because we're active investors, thought leaders, aka smart money. We can help connect them to manufacturing, distribution, insurers, DSOs, professional associations, academic institutions, retailers, labs, and more nationwide. If you like what you hear, why not get in touch? Join us in shaping the future of oral care.
John has made me understand that I'm really an entrepreneur and my business is dentistry and dental health.
Wendy also has been in the trenches, and that's one thing that we appreciate about both of them is that they have done it, and they have succeeded and excelled in it.
That it wasn't about increasing production, it was about increasing patient care. When we did that, the production increases.
It's not about dollars. It's about doing the right thing for patients at the right time, every time.
It's true, Dental CE has grown stale, but it doesn't have to be. Hi, I'm Dr. Miles Cohn. Let me introduce you to Catapult Education.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
All this and more can be found at catapulteducation.com, where you can learn to thrive in a dynamic and evolving dental market.
And a big shout out to all of the amazing dental tanks for taking the time to be here. We appreciate each and every one of you. And the contestants, I hope you are enjoying yourself. And of course, there's going to be a lot of people to see all of your different products and services. So next up, we have Herb Mosaics. Man, I butchered that name, didn't I, buddy? Herb, we're super excited to have you. This is from them. They are a developer and manufacturer of antimicrobial products. Our family of infection-controlled dental products include a ready-to-use oral and nasal barrier cream. These award-winning products are used, I'm sorry, I missed one, a concentrated oral irrigant, a hand cleanser, and a nasal spray. These award-winning products are used in dentistry for caries and periodontal control and to prevent COVID-19 transmission. Herb, welcome to the stage.
Okay, thanks so much, Elijah. I appreciate being here, and we want to talk today about IoTech International and its products and its technology. And we're talking about a new breed of antimicrobial products. These products are best in class for their ability to be germicidal. And as you'll see in just a minute, there's plenty good reason for my saying so. So this is advanced chemistry is based on iodine, advanced form of iodine. These are patented products. And these products, as an example, our oral rinse is far more effective than major house brand rinses. Also, rinses that are well known throughout the dental community. With regard to their antiviral activity, our oral rinse is completely effective against rhinovirus, a very difficult to kill virus. That virus is not inactivated by other oral rinses. For example, acetylpyridinium chloride, alcohols, essential oils, they don't touch rhinovirus. Ours completely inactivates it in 30 seconds. Our products were tested at the Antiviral Research Institute of Utah State University for their effectiveness against SARS-CoV-2. Those tests included the 2 rinses that are recommended or have been recommended by the ADA in their interim guidance for COVID-19, which is 1.5% hydrogen peroxide and also 0.2% povidone iodine. None of those rinses, nor chlorhexidine gluconate, were able to inactivate SARS-CoV-2 fully in either 30 seconds or in 60 seconds. Our rinse completely inactivated it in 30 seconds. Clinicians' report has issued in their April 2021 newsletter an evaluation of oral rinses for their effectiveness against SARS-CoV-2. And of the rinses tested, which included hydrogen peroxide, chlorhexidine gluconate, and also povidone iodine, as well as our rinse. Our rinse was the only one to completely inactivate SARS-CoV-2, and it did it in a way that was 100 times more biocidal than any of the other rinses. And in fact, it was the only rinse that was shown to be effective in the presence of saliva. The only rinse shown to be effective in the presence of saliva against SARS-CoV-2. None of the other rinses were able to do that. Molecular iodine is also effective, and in fact, when we compare it to chlorhexidine gluconate, you'll see that chlorhexidine gluconate against coronavirus is poorly effective. In fact, a 5% solution of chlorhexidine gluconate, which is 42 times stronger than the chlorhexidine gluconate rinses that we use, 0.12%. After 1 hour of exposure, was unable to completely inactivate coronavirus. Test as an antiviral agent for coronavirus. Against rhinovirus, chlorhexidine gluconate completely ineffective. Against Fusobacterium nucleatum, it did very well because chlorhexidine gluconate is a gold standard for periodontal care, and Fusobacterium nucleatum is a periodontal bacterium. So it got a 4.19 log kill in 15 seconds, but for strep mutans, it was almost completely ineffective. So against a carriogenic bacteria, not so good. In every single case, molecular iodine, our rinse, completely effective in 30 seconds, completely effective in 30 seconds, and even for the periodontal bacteria, it was 100 times more effective than the chlorhexidine gluconate. Against povidone iodine takes 5 minutes to completely inactivate Staph aureus, yet a molecular iodine rinse completely inactivates Staph aureus in 30 seconds, 10 times shorter. Against poliovirus, after 15 minutes, a povidone iodine solution achieves a 0.6 log kill. Yet in 90 seconds, you get complete inactivation and a 4.5 log kill with molecular iodine. Molecular iodine is non-staining compared to the vial that you see on right, which is your traditional povidone iodine. And in order to be able to show the differential, not only is the molecular iodine solution much more effective than the povidone iodine solution, but also it doesn't stain. And the vial that you see on the left, which is similar to this bottle that you see here, the bottle on the left is a molecular iodine solution which is 10 times stronger, 10 times more biocidal than the one on the right, which is your traditional povidone iodine. Yet the anomaly here is that this solution, which is 10 times stronger than this solution, is almost something which is safe to drink, almost. And in fact, it's an essential nutrient. Our bodies require it because iodine is a required essential nutrient without which we suffer iodine deficiency diseases. You're not going to see me do this with povidone iodine. You're not going to see me do this with chlorhexidine gluconate. But this is almost safe enough to drink. And in fact, iodine is used to disinfect drinking water and has been used as such by the military for more than 50 years. 10 times stronger than povidone iodine. Okay, so these products have important efficacy in a number of different dental applications. In fact, dozens of different dental applications. Excuse me, I'm going the wrong way here. Here we go. Okay, so our company is focusing its activities on the professional dental side, right? So we sell to dental offices, we sell to through distributors, and we also sell direct to dental patients. We also, our products, though, are ubiquitous. They're used and important in so many different industries. And in fact, we're interested in the advanced wound care area. We're interested in agriculture. We're interested in OTC applications, but not for us to do it ourselves. We're not big enough. We don't have the infrastructure for those things. We are focused on the professional dental side. These other areas, our interests are generated by large companies which are potential licensees who can pick up the ball and do the heavy lifting in those areas. So we're happy to license out into those areas as well. In the dental side, our primary focus is, in the professional dental, is for periodontal disease, both for in-office treatment and for daily at-home use by patients, which also make this an important profit center for dental offices. And in addition to that, it also has anti-caries potential. Iodine is very effective as an anti-caries agent. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, our products have found use in hundreds and hundreds, thousands of dental offices as a pre-procedural rinse for use in dental water lines, for nasal applications, as a hand sanitizer, used in air diffusers so that iodine molecules can diffuse into the air and be effective in knocking the viral dental aerosols. It's been used in hard surface disinfectants. Our company, from our dental activities, is currently doing about $3 million a year, and that's with a cosmetic claim only. In addition to selling direct to dental offices and to dental distributors, we also have joint ventures that we're negotiating for manufacturing and distribution in the Orient, in Taiwan and China, and also in Europe. Our current products have earned the Catapult Vote of Confidence, and also Clinicians Report has voted them as best products of the year. They include, if you look on the left, you'll see a 1-liter oral rinse, and also comes in a 12-ounce. We also have a concentrated irrigant for use as in an oral irrigating device. We also have a gel for use in dental trays for moderate to severe periodontal treatment. They're worn just 10 minutes a day, extremely effective. We also have a hand cleanser. All of these products have very high levels of molecular iodine. This is patented technology. We're the only company that has it. We also we've introduced a nasal spray, high levels molecular iodine, and also a nasal barrier cream. The nasal barrier cream has two modes of action, one of which is to provide a physical barrier to prevent viral shedding in the nasal passages, and the second function is its antimicrobial iodine function. So an effective antimicrobial tool and very, very inexpensive for dental offices to use and provide that greater protection because there's more viral load in the nasal cavity than there is in the oral cavity, more viral load. So it's an important product. For advanced wound care, again, this is something that we've licensed off to others. In this case, we've licensed off advanced wound care applications globally to Medline Industries, a $14 billion a year hospital supply company that has greater than 30% of market share in the United States. They've licensed 5 products initially for wound care. The first one, a wound cleanser, has been developed. It's currently on stability testing, and this quarter they're filing for FDA 510(k) medical device clearance. They've already paid us $75,000 towards $100,000 of milestone payments. They'll pay us next year when they launch these products. They'll be paying us royalties, and they have an interest in other of our products as well. In agriculture, again, we license off to others. In agriculture, we've signed an agreement with Global Iodine Solutions. They have the territorial rights now for Australia and New Zealand. We're in discussion with them for global rights. They want it for pre-harvest and post-harvest applications, both of which have been proven already in testing. For pre-harvest applications, it's to increase crop yields. I've been to farms throughout South America. I've seen the toxicity of these other fungicides that are being used. These can safely increase crop yields without the dangers associated with the others. Also, for post-harvest applications, it keeps produce fresh even up to weeks longer. So big applications there, and this is an existing license.
Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. We have 5 minutes only for the tanks to give feedback, so we want to make sure that we open it up for the tanks to give feedback on your amazing product. So right now, we'll go ahead and open it up for the tanks to give feedback, and we have just 5 minutes left. So thank you.
Sure.
What kind of investment are you looking for what percentage of the company, and how will you use the money?
Oh, so we're looking for $4 million, and it's for 15% of the company. Places a $26.7 million valuation.
How will you use the money?
Yeah, so the money will be used for, number one, to increase our manufacturing capability to support this additional growth. It's going to be used for additional testing and regulatory purposes. It's also going to be used to boost our marketing efforts and for general working capital.
A few questions for you. The first one, it almost sounds too good to be true, molecular iodine. What if any, complications or side effects are there to its usage?
You know, the question you asked is an age-old question. It's the same question that I asked. The the only drawback that I see, the only practical drawback that I see and have seen in the development of this, and I'm one of the co-authors of the patent, so I've been in this from the beginning. And the only drawback that I see is that the iodine is volatile, so that we have to be careful how it's packaged, and it also has to be, we have to be careful about how it's stored or used. So in all of the normal applications that we're envisioning, that there is no problem. There is no problem. Only with misuse is there a problem.
What kind of problem? Like abdominal?
The problem is the loss of iodine, the loss of effectiveness. For example, iodine is completely compatible with PET plastic, and we ship our products in PET plastic containers. But if somebody wants to take our product and transfer it into another container on their own, maybe, for example, they want to use our concentrate, and in order to save money, rather than buy our ready-to-use rinse, the dental office will want to use our concentrate and dilute it on their own to save money. Well, they could do that, but the problem is if they put it into a container which is not compatible with the iodine to do it, that's where it can lose its effectiveness.
Understood.
So as long as it's stored and used in the containers that we provide, there is no problem.
Two more quick questions.
Sure.
One of them, in one of your slides, you said you have a run rate of $3 million with the cosmetic claims only.
Yes.
How much more time and cost to more claims?
Say again?
How much more time and cost until you add the additional clinical claims you want to have?
Right. Okay. So we originally were looking down the path of a new drug application. And as a new drug application, it would cost us approximately $3 million, and it would take anywhere between 2 to 3 years to obtain.
Understood.
We're not continuing down that path. What we are doing, and what we've already are in the process of doing, within 6 months, we should be able to market with a drug claim for anti-plaque and anti-gingivitis for our oral rinse, because we're going to combine it with an existing active, which we've already determined that they're completely compatible, and we're including our iodine into that as an antimicrobial preservative, and so we'll be able to take advantage of existing claims under a federal monograph, and that process will probably cost us $50,000. And the testing has started for that already, the antimicrobial preservative testing. We know it's effective for that purpose. So within 6 months, it'll be on the market with those claims. And we also are starting testing for that same product and which we feel very confident about, is that we'll also going to be able to show efficacy against the Delta variant of SARS-CoV-2. And there is an ongoing PERIO trial, which has just started, which is going to give us additional data that we can talk about and our distributors can talk about as well. So the answer to your question is not only for that product, but for several of our other products that will be able, with a foot, an antifungal for foot, for which we're negotiating a podiatric license with an existing podiatric manufacturer who has tested our products for those purposes, and those will also have claims as an OTC drug.
Last question. What are your sales and margins to justify your $26 million valuation? What are your sales and margins to date?
Our valuation is not based on our current sales. Our valuation is based on the potential of this company. And our current sales, which I told you, which approximately our run rate is about $3 million now. That's with strictly cosmetic claims. None of these other joint venture royalties have come into play yet. So The valuation is also we've had other companies, including global companies, who have offered us an opportunity in that at that market valuation range of $26 to $30 million.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you. An amazing product. And I also want to point out, he is one of our safety sponsors. And you'll see a long line of attendees. We're going to have over 800 total people here at the conference. And the safety sponsor line, we thank you, Herb, for being involved with that. We're going to have everybody swish with the iodine rinse and use the hand cleanser. So a big thank you for supporting the conference and being here. We really appreciate you being a safety sponsor. Thank you. All right. Next.